What if I told you two stars from the Spider-Man universe are in the middle of a shocking feud, and one of them just called the other a cking Weirdo live, on the spot? This isn't some offhand comment, this is a public blow-up that has fans talking non-stop. But here's the twist, this isn't your typical Hollywood drama. It's messy, it's unexpected, and it could change everything for these actors. So, why did Laura Harrier, who plays Liz in Spider-Man: Homecoming, decide to go after Shameik Moore, the voice of Miles Morales in Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse? Stick around till the end, because what we uncover will make you rethink everything you know about these stars and their relationship. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. Before we get into the heat of this drama, let's take a step back and remind ourselves who these two actors are. Laura Harrier, best known for playing Liz in Spider-Man: Homecoming, made waves with her portrayal of Peter Parker's high school love interest. But she's more than just a supporting character in a superhero flick. Laura's been on the rise in Hollywood, with roles in major films like Black Klansman and Hollywood. She's someone who has worked hard to carve out her place in the industry, and her future is looking pretty bright. On the other hand, we have Shameik Moore, the voice of Miles Morales in Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse and its upcoming sequel. He's the face behind one of the most beloved versions of Spider-Man to ever hit the screen. But here's where things get interesting: his success hasn't always come without controversy. Fans love him for his role, but not everyone is on his side. While he's celebrated for his contribution to the Spider-Verse, his actions and words off-screen have sparked their own share of debates. So, why does any of this matter? Well, these two actors, with their rising careers and strong personalities, are now at the center of a public clash. And it's not just some quiet disagreement, it's a full-on verbal confrontation, and it's about to get way more intense than you'd expect. Now, let's get into the meat of the issue. Laura Harrier made headlines when she publicly called Shameik Moore a cking Weirdo. It wasn't just a passing comment, this was a pointed, direct insult that caught everyone off guard. You'd think these two, both stars in the Spider-Man franchise, would be tight, right? But instead, Laura didn't hold back in her criticism. The real question is, why? What could have led to such a blunt and harsh comment? Was this something that built up over time, or was it a one-time burst of frustration? It all started when Laura and Shameik were at an event together, and it didn't take long for things to escalate. Apparently, there had been some tension between the two behind the scenes for a while, and it finally boiled over. But here's where it gets interesting. Laura's statement wasn't just about something that happened in the moment, it was something that had been brewing for a while. Sources suggest that there had been disagreements about how they interacted at work, and even some reports about how their professional relationship had become strained. Laura's comment wasn't random, it was a reaction to something much bigger, something that maybe the public didn't fully know about, yet. Once the comment hit the internet, it was like a bomb went off. Fans immediately began picking sides. Some were on Laura's side, praising her for speaking out about what seemed to be a simmering issue. Others, however, were shocked and disappointed by the outburst, especially since both actors are supposed to be part of the Spider-Man family. People couldn't believe that something like this would happen between two actors from the same universe, and emotions were running high. On one hand, some fans feel Laura was justified. After all, it's no secret that working in Hollywood can be a tough environment, and maybe this was her breaking point. Maybe she felt she had to stand up for herself, especially if there had been months or even years of tension bubbling beneath the surface. For those who back her, they're seeing her as someone who finally gave a voice to what many might feel but don't say. They view it as a moment of raw honesty in an industry full of pretenses. But then there's the other side. A lot of people believe that Laura's comment was over the top. They argue that, as professionals, these two should have kept things private, especially when they're both part of such a massive, global franchise. Fans who were disappointed by Laura's outburst questioned whether this would impact future projects for both actors. Could this drama spill over into their careers? Would Hollywood be willing to take a risk on them if this issue wasn't resolved? And there's also the side of fans who wonder if this was all a misunderstanding. Could there have been a mix-up in their communication, or maybe Laura was simply reacting to something that seemed bigger than it was? People are torn, and they're vocal about it, making this one of the most discussed celebrity feuds in recent memory. So, what now? After such an explosive comment, it's hard to imagine that things will go back to normal between Laura Harrier and Shameik Moore. The real question is whether this fallout will blow over or if it's going to create long-lasting consequences for both of them. For Laura, there's a chance that this could have both positive and negative effects. On one hand, her boldness might make her a fan favorite for standing her ground. People respect someone who isn't afraid to speak their mind, even when it's uncomfortable. On the other hand, this could damage her relationships within Hollywood. She might find that future roles are harder to come by, especially if producers worry about her causing drama on set. And the Spider-Man franchise, well, this could impact their dynamic within the Spider-Verse films. Fans are already talking about whether this will affect their roles in future projects. Will the tension between these two actors spill over into the on-screen chemistry, or will Hollywood push past this, using their professional distance to keep the show going? One thing's for sure, this isn't the last we'll hear about this. Whether the two actors will eventually reconcile or whether this feud will follow them for years to come remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, their relationship will never be the same.